Hello, I'm Laura Painter. You're watching ABC10 Plus this week. Lodi City Manager is on leave after alleging misuse of public funds. Plus, in dollars and cents, how new IRS changes for popular payment apps could affect you this tax season. Then we hit the back roads. John Bartel takes us on a unique trip through the snowy mountains above Truckee by riding on fat tire bicycles. ABC10 Plus this week starts right now.
Should California add allergens to restaurant menus? That's the subject of a bill that passed in committee today. ABC 10's Becca Habegger spoke with the 9-year-old behind the bill and why those opposed say the bill is flawed.
It was a busy day outside state lawmakers' office building Wednesday, with people rallying and a line just to get inside to discuss various bills.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me all right?
In a conference room on the 8th floor,
Support SB68.
even some of the youngest Californians participated in the legislative process.
Support SB68 for Addie.
These third graders are here to support their classmate, 9-year-old Addie Lau.
I've had anaphylactic food allergies since I was a baby. I always have to be careful and carry my EpiPen wherever I go.
She has multiple severe food allergies that have threatened her life when, despite best precautionary efforts, they wind up in food she is served.
My allergens are often hidden. Even my favorite food, dumplings, often have sesame oil in it.
She and her mom, Robin Lau, approached California Senator Caroline Menjivar, chair of the Senate Health Committee, about sponsoring a bill.
There's a lot of hidden allergens. So a lot of times, it's that invisible burden of, is it safe? Like, do we know? There's just so much risk involved.
Menjivar agreed and wrote Senate Bill 68, which would require restaurants to include on all of its menus written notification of the major food allergens contained as an ingredient in each menu item. It would also add sesame to that list.
So I'm always thinking about what can or can I eat? And I'm thinking, this is a lot of work.
In Wednesday's news conference, Menjivar told the kids she too has severe food allergies and wants to see restaurants clearly list the allergens in each menu item. Right after the news conference, the bill went before the California Senate Committee on Health. There, Menjivar and Addie made their case to committee members, and Addie's classmates lent their voices too.
My name is Leo Taco and I support this bill.
And a letter in support of SB 68 is signed by dozens of organizations and hundreds of medical professionals. Senators also heard from the California Restaurant Association and the nonprofit FAIR, Food Allergy Research and Education, which jointly oppose SB 68.
This bill requires on-menu printing. We have a vastly dynamic supply chain network, and this bill, we believe, takes a static approach.
Menus cannot capture allergen risks introduced through sourcing, manufacturing, or even cross-contact during kitchen prep. As written, the bill would create a false sense of security for food allergy families.
The committee passed the bill, with senators noting there's still time to make improvements.
Even though we're really young, we can make a difference in the world.
In Sacramento, Becca Habegger, ABC 10.
The legislative process for this bill is far from over. It goes next to the Senate Committee on Appropriations.
In tonight, dollars and cents. The tax filing deadline is next week. New IRS changes regarding popular payment apps like Venmo and PayPal could affect you this tax season. If you use these apps, you may owe taxes this year. An Elk Grove-based tax expert explains what's new and which kinds of payments are involved. This tax season, the IRS is shaking up the rules for how you report income from payment apps like Venmo and PayPal.
The IRS has decided to require third parties that have payment collectors to issue these 1099-Ks when the volume of transactions reach certain thresholds.
Payment apps are now required to send tax information to the IRS, and the new rule is being phased in over the next few years. According to the IRS, for 2024, businesses and workers are required to report income from these apps of $5,000 or more. In 2025, the threshold will drop to $2,500. And then in 2026, the threshold will drop again to $600. So, if you got income through a payment app in 2024, you could receive a 1099 tax form and would need to report that when you file your taxes in 2025. This tax form will also be sent to the IRS. Keep in mind, each payment app has its own system for categorizing business transactions versus personal transactions.
on those platforms, usually you can set a flag to indicate whether it's a business transaction versus a personal. And if it's all personal, those rules of reporting the 1099-K do not apply.
Meaning, not every third-party payment app transaction will be reported to the IRS.
A common one I've been seeing is, people that are selling their items, personal items on eBay.
Ching says personal transactions will not be reported as long as they are labeled correctly.
When you're selling personal items, more often than not, you're selling items that you've owned for a long time that you purchased for a higher value. And so in that circumstance, you're selling something basically at a loss. But the fact that it's a personal item, it becomes non-reportable.
Here's what that additional income tax form looks like. Just enter the amount for your personal items sold at a loss in the area highlighted in yellow. Here are some examples of personal transactions. A few friends are using a payment app to split the cost of a pizza. A few roommates are using an app to split the cost of rent for the month. Or family members are paying each other back for a holiday gift they purchased together.
Is there a difference when you are paying through these apps versus receiving payment through these apps?
The 1099-K is going to the receiver. You just want to make sure that the people that are sending you those funds, that they're checking it appropriately also.
Experts warn there is a good chance mistakes will be made in these first few years, so payment app users should check their records just to be safe. However, if the payments are truly income from a one-time job or a side hustle, then the recipient must report the income to the IRS.
Does this add another complication to filing?
Just releasing this information to the public, once they're aware of how simple it is to deal with, then it would just make that nervousness go away.
Experts say if you ignore your 1099-K forms, you'll likely get a letter from the IRS asking for more information. If this letter is ignored, the IRS might add the amount listed on the form to your total income for the year, which would likely increase the amount of taxes you owe. I've got more tax season advice for you streaming now on the ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. The app is free to download on your TV. You can also email me your questions at lpainter@abc10.com.
Welcome back. The fallout from a controversial city council meeting in Lodi last week continues tonight.
During the meeting, the mayor stopped the city manager from speaking while he alleged widespread misuse of public funds.
Well, the city manager has now been placed on administrative leave. ABC10's Gabriel Porras has the latest update.
Madam City Clerk. Scott Carney started Wednesday's special Lodi Council meeting in the city manager's chair, but an hour after council members returned from a closed-door meeting, the chair was empty.
We did put Scott on immediate paid administrative leave. The second action that City Council took was an investigation into the claims made by Mr. Carney.
Claims made during this April 1st meeting.
And a forensic audit will be initiated.
Where Mayor Cameron Brigman silenced the city manager while speaking about an investigation into widespread misuse of public funds and allegations that some city leaders are trying to protect certain employees.
I have
You will stop.
Couple more
You will
sentences.
stop.
Just days later, the mayor and two other council members voted to start the third-party investigation and place Scott Carney on leave.
If we're doing something wrong, we can figure that out. But if you're dealing with something that you can't trust, then that's a different story. One day soon.
The mayor read a statement Thursday, but walked away as we tried to ask questions.
Thank you very much.
The previous council meeting, do you still think it was
Thank
appropriate
you
action
very
to
much.
stop this? Councilmember Lisa Craig Hensley has her own questions.
My questions are the community's questions. How did we get into this situation? Do we need more policies?
The councilwoman is one of the two members who voted to let the city manager keep his seat.
I just didn't receive enough information that I felt leaded to that, what I think is still a very strong action. We need to have our taxpayers and our investors trust that we are doing the right thing.
While this one may be temporary for now, the city of Lodi has a new employment opportunity to fill tonight. The mayor says that the idea of appointing an acting city manager will be discussed during another special meeting set for Friday. At Lodi City Hall, Gabriel Porras, ABC10.
And keep in mind, Scott Carney was hired in May 2024. He's the 8th city manager in Lodi.
We reached out to him today, but did not hear back. Lodi's mayor says he's hoping the investigation will wrap up within 45 days.
Farm is asking to increase their insurance rates following January's devastating wildfires in Los Angeles. Today, the company and the California Department of Insurance appeared in a hearing to address the issue. ABC10's Jeannie Nguyen joins us in studio with the developments.
As you may recall, Alex, State Farm initially asked to raise the cost of premium an average of 22% for homeowners, and renters should also expect to feel an impact. But during today's hearing, State Farm and the California Department of Insurance agreed to an average of 17%, though advocates for ratepayers say they're still against increasing the costs. In an hours-long hearing, insurance company State Farm asked a judge to recommend the California Department of Insurance commissioner to approve their request for a rate hike.
No insurer can stay in business if it pays more in claims than it collects in premiums year after year.
State Farm says it's been losing money for years. January's Los Angeles fires made things even worse.
For every $1 it received in premiums, it has paid out $1.26 in claims and expenses. State Farm General surplus, which is the money that's available to pay claims, has fallen from about $4 billion in 2015 to about $1 billion in 2024.
State Farm has come to an agreement with the California Department of Insurance that it would request a 17% rate increase instead of its original 22%, and says this would come at no risk to policyholders.
The interim rate poses no risk to policyholders because if the final rate ends up being lower than the interim rate, policyholders will be entitled to a refund of the difference with interest.
State Farm says if the insurance commissioner approves this rate hike, they expect to get an additional $400 million.
The combination of the interim rate increase plus the $400 million in surplus note from the parent will immediately improve State Farm General's financial condition.
The Department of Insurance also urges a judge to recommend the commissioner to approve this rate increase. Meanwhile, Consumer Watchdog, a group advocating for ratepayers, says it understands it's a difficult time for the insurance market in California, but believes State Farm has not justified its request.
So we urge the court to not let this hearing become a bailout for bad business decisions.
Adding that refunds don't protect the policyholders.
Refunds are not a substitute for legality. They're not a permission slip to charge unlawful rates today to maybe correct them later.
Understanding this would hurt homeowners, insurance experts say this was bound to happen given the state of the market.
This could be $400 out of their pocket or $600, which is true, but it's better than not having a policy. This is math. This is not politics. This is not anything other than we need to be sure that the carriers have money to pay the claims.
All right, Jeannie, so we know that this is a multi-day hearing. What can you tell us, or what can we expect for tomorrow or even Thursday?
Oh, yes, Alex, this hearing could last until Thursday, and State Farm does have witnesses to testify on their behalf. Now, again, a judge is only allowed to recommend a decision to the insurance commissioner.
Yeah, and this is something we're going to continue to follow, Jeannie. Thank you so much. We'll keep you updated. And the To The Point team has spent months digging into the home insurance crisis, hearing from homeowners, Congress members, and the insurance commissioner himself about how we got to this point and what can be done to help. You can stream our special investigation right now on the ABC10 Plus TV streaming app.
Well, don't forget, 10 on Your Side can help you find solutions to issues that seem impossible to solve.
I just want to thank you over and over again. You got my money back. It's over $500, and I couldn't do it. I would have had to get an attorney.
Melody Kasich tells 10 on Your Side she spent months fighting to get her money back from AT&T for a service she never used. 10 on Your Side contacted AT&T immediately, and we got results within 24 hours.
It was less than that. You called me at 8 o'clock. The next morning at 10, it was done.
AT&T released this statement saying, in part, our goal is to resolve customer concerns quickly. And unfortunately, in this instance, we fell short of our standards. For that, we apologized to the customer and resolved her concerns.
Along, not just the trash and the smell of the smoke blowing into my house when I had the windows open, but also just the noise. There would be a lot of, laughing and kind of like it was a break room right outside of my house.
We helped a viewer who sent us pictures showing UC Davis Health employees using her front yard as a place to smoke and gather. We went straight to the hospital for answers, who says they've now told employees to avoid loitering, smoking, or littering in the surrounding area because caring for the community matters both inside and outside of our facilities.
I thank you so much. I can't be more appreciative of everything that you did and stayed on top of it.
Viewer David sent 10 on Your Side this message saying, my lights were shut off by SMUD for an amount due of roughly $1,000. Please let me know if you know of any other resources. We know David is not alone, so 10 on Your Side went straight to SMUD for things you can do to avoid losing power.
So they could actually set a custom due date that allows them to move their due date for their bill to better align when they're getting paid. So these are just various tools and programs that help customers if they're in financial need.
David was ultimately able to get a payment extension, and ABC10 is here to help. Do you have a problem and don't know where else to turn? Email me at onyourside@abc10.com.
Well, we know that in news, stories are filled with challenges and hardships, but incredible things are happening every day, from neighbors helping neighbors to inspiring acts of kindness. Each week in our segment, Champions of Hope, we're sharing stories on people making a real difference and reminding us all of the power of community. So tonight, we introduce you to a Folsom firefighter who's helped deliver a baby or two.
For Folsom firefighter and paramedic Kyle Post, some calls have left him saying, "Oh boy."
We arrived to find a woman who was about to have an imminent delivery.
Kyle and his crew recently responded to a call with an expecting mother.
With childbirth, things can go really well or they can go very poorly, very quickly.
And had to make a quick decision to rush the mother to the hospital, or
we decided that we were going to go ahead and have the delivery in her home.
Thanks to Kyle and his team,
she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. I was ecstatic because I was able to be part of that and then bring a healthy baby boy into this world and this planet.
Delivering babies has become Kyle's unofficial specialty.
This was the 7th delivery that I have been a part of.
For Kyle, helping people in their time of need is
the most rewarding aspect of this job, because there's not a whole lot of other career paths that you can take where you can directly influence your community.
And our team knows there are so many more stories that are waiting to be told. So if you know someone that's making a difference, we'd love to hear about it. You can share your story by emailing us at tothepoint@abc10.com.
The little mountain town of Truckee has over 30 miles of paved biking trails. It's one of the most popular places for cyclists to go in Nevada County. There's just one problem, though. In the winter, those bike trails are covered in snow. The solution to that problem is fat tire biking.
They're perfect for that, going through different types of terrain, mud, snow, sand, things that you would struggle on a regular size tire.
Rachel and Dennis Elstey own Bike Truckee, one of the only bike rental shops in the area that can operate year-round.
Previous to the fat tire bikes, what was the biking business like in the winter here?
In the winter, it was non-existent.
The obvious feature of fat tire biking is, of course, the fat tire itself, which acts sort of like a balloon in the snow.
Well, we have these big 4.0 tires. We keep them a little bit soft so that they really can absorb all of the different undulations and things with the terrain that we're on, the different snow and everything.
The mountain biking industry has been slowly developing the fat tire bike for over a decade, but if you ask me, the greatest advancement is the addition of the electric assist motors.
These are called a power assist rather than a throttle style electric bike, where you have to put energy in to get the energy out.
A great beginner trail that Rachel and Dennis like to send riders on is the Sawtooth Recreation Area, which takes you high above the town of Truckee and through a tree-covered portion of the Tahoe National Forest.
The Sawtooth Trail is an extensive trail network. It connects Tahoe City and also to Kings Beach, so it's this big open space.
Fat tire biking is definitely fun, but the true experience, in my opinion, is the sights that you'll see and the feeling you'll get while pedaling through the area free from crowds of people.
There's a lot of bald eagles and hawks, abundant hawks. They're constantly hunting. If you're really lucky, you might see an owl in some of these trees.
Riding the fat tires through the snowy bike trails of Truckee. I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Well, if you are looking for something to watch this weekend, well, you are in luck. It is the perfect time to check out a movie that actually takes place in the capital city, and it's called Sacramento. ABC10's Marcus Allen is in downtown Sacramento this morning to tell us all about it, and he's got some special guests there. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, no kidding. I love movies, and a lot of times I lean into movies. I love all movies. Sometimes I overhype. I'm not overhyping today, and I know the city's waiting for it. The movie is Sacramento. The people responsible for it behind me right now, Michael and Garano. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Writer, director, star of it. I've grown up. My kids used to watch you on TV all the time, so I'm kind of geeked out right now and seeing you and seeing where you're going with all this.
Oh, that's nice. I'm very excited to share the movie. It's very near and dear to us, passion project, so we're very excited for people to see it.
Got it. Before we move on to his right, star of the movie, Kristen Stewart.
Come on, Mark.
I'm sorry.
You really had to do me like that?
No, this is Chris Smith, without whom this wouldn't be possible. It really is a yin and yang relationship. How do you describe your partnership in writing this?
He takes the vowels, I take the consonants. No.
Chris and I did a pilot 10 years ago, and we became very good friends. Fortunately for us, for all of us, the pilot did not get picked up, but we did write the movie.
Yeah. And it's awesome, and it reflects the city so well. And I've said this before, whether it's Detroit or Philadelphia, Garden State, it's not about the places. It just happens to be named that. So I'm sorry, but that's the case with this movie. With that said, you make the city look great. We're in a dive bar with a real mermaid right now because you took a real road trip not that long ago, and on that road trip, you saw the dive bar.
We did. We took a road trip to do a little research in 2017, and I think somebody told us about the dive bar.
That's right, and we drank a little too much while we were here, too.
But fortunately, we took pictures.
We did.
We did.
Maybe you can cut to those now. Should we have set this up earlier?
No, we're looking at a video of the film. The film's beautiful, and I've told people before, it's a rare treat to see a movie like this on the big screen. People need to take advantage of that.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's opening tomorrow in theaters all over Sacramento. It's in over 240 theaters around the country, so it's just very exciting.
Got it. It's awesome. And some people might have thought you would come to Sacramento and rip it apart. The juxtaposition between L.A. and Sacramento, you really don't.
No, there's nothing to rip apart. I mean, other than it did a number of my allergies. Other than that, it was a really lovely place. Like we just, we kind of fell in love with the place. And there's a lot of specificity and nuances that we found in our trip here that made its way into the movie.
Yeah. All right, wordsmith, see this movie because
if you're a Sacramento citizen and you don't, I think they're going to take your license away.
Good point. Yeah. Good point. Hey, speaking of Sacramento citizens, a big round of applause for the mayor, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin McCarty. What are you doing here? Bring it in. Bring it in.
Yes.
What?
Yes. How are you? Look, we saw the movie last night. It was a great movie, so people should see it because it's a good film, a great story about redemption and good things happening there. But most importantly, I'm a lifelong Sacramentan. I love that you did a movie called Sacramento, and it shows Sacramento in a great light. And you came here a decade ago. It had inspiration, so we're super excited about you all. So we're going to give you something. This is a big deal. We're giving you keys to the city of Sacramento. There we go.
That's awesome. Big round of applause.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. That means a lot. Thank you. That's incredible.
There we go.
Will this be able to unlock Rachel out of the mermaid tank or no?
Do what you want with this.
Okay.
It's not a get out of jail free card, but it's a key.
Okay.
It's a key.
What I love, modern problems, I told the crowd, hey, big round of applause when I call for it. Not one applause. You want to know why? Everybody, don't put your cell phones down. All 30 people holding their cell phones, making the moment go viral as it should. This moment should go viral. Your movie should be seen by everybody. And like great films like Garden State or Simple Plan, more recently, A Real Pain, it's going to be around forever. Instant classic, sir. Congratulations.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you.
All right, bring it in. Group hug, Mr. Mayor. And back to you.
Hey, Mark, so whenever I have people in town to visit Sacramento, and I always ask them what was their favorite part of Sacramento. So will you just ask them, if they're not busy, what their favorite part of Sacramento is?
Yeah. Yeah, if I could break up this love fest for a minute. So we want to know, what would you recommend to people? Like, what's your favorite part of Sacramento? People coming in from out of town.
Okay, we went bar hopping on K Street, and that was really fun. People get loose on the weekends there, and we had a lot of fun with a lot of citizens there. What about you?
I mean, this place is pretty unique to Sacramento. Dive Bar is a really special place. I loved Old Sac. I loved walking down the boardwalk, checking out the water. The railroad. I'm a big history buff, so the Railroad Museum for me was very special. It didn't make its way into the movie, but
And also, their life has changed since that road trip. Kids have come along. The script's been rewritten a few times, and it reflects Sacramento or life in a multitude of ways.
It does. We started writing it 10 years ago, so naturally, the story evolved as we did as men, and it survived a pandemic and children and marriages, and here we are.
Yeah, that's awesome. And our the first actor we had added to the movie was Maya Erskine. At the time, we didn't know her, but we loved her. We sent her the script. Mike met her as the director-actor first time. The meeting went so well, he ended up marrying her. So
congratulations on that. She's amazing in it. All right, so we're getting the big wrap. Show them the key right there. As we wrap it up, let's go unlock some stuff.
Absolutely incredible. All right, can't wait to see the movie. Thank you, Marcus Allen.
Thank you so much for watching ABC 10 Plus this week. We're here 24/7 on the free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Laura Painter. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching ABC 10 Plus. And now that you're here, why don't we take a look around and see what else is here? The very first tile on your left is always going to be streaming 24/7. You can find us adjacent to that, breaking news if it's there. And then right next to that, a replay of the most recent newscast. Whether it's ABC 10 Morning News at 5, 6, or beyond, it's going to be there. The forecast beyond that, and then right beyond that, the news that matters the most. Now that you know the basic tiles, let's go up to the top and take a deeper dive into news. We have every single newscast that you would need, including To the Point with Alex Bell, taking a deeper dive into the issues. Beyond that, ABC 10 Morning News at 5 and 6 and 11, the evening shows as well. Below that, you can watch the top stories from To the Point. Under that, Dollars and Cents, where you can learn how to navigate this challenging economy. And below that, you can watch our award-winning ABC 10 Special Investigations, where we hold the powerful accountable. Going into weather, look, it's the 10-day forecast, getting you ready for the weekend and beyond. Beyond that, sports. I know you care about the Sacramento Kings. We have the most comprehensive guide to anything, everything Kings in the locker room and on the court. We have it. Below that, I know you care about the San Francisco 49ers. We can't mention Bay Sports without talking about the Oakland A's. We have that too. Backing out again, come up to the top and join me on Verify. I'm super excited about this. Our experts are checking the facts, verifying the truth for you. Jump up now to shows. Very excited about this. Oh, look. It's Take a Look. This is my show. I love movies, and if you love movies or streaming shows, whether it's on screens this big, or this big, it's Take a Look. Recently went behind the scenes, sat down with Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix to talk about Joker 2. I love the movie, and oh, I just heard you shout you hate the movie. Jump in, we talk about it on this show. Other shows, Bartell's Backroads, go up and down the state of California, tank of gas getaways, one fuel cell getaway, like places like the Toy Museum. This is what kids did before they had screens. Over here, the Moaning Caverns of Calaveras County, one of the most coveted caves in all of California. You know, watching this show, I discovered there's a cave that could fit the entire Statue of Liberty in your own backyard. You'll find about that and more with Bartell's Backroads. Down below that, To the Point. It is one of my favorite newscasts because they talk about news with Alex Bell the way you talk about news. It's conversational, but in-depth at the same time. Below that, Your California Life. Love this show. Whether it's entertainment, food, beverage, lifestyle, it's there. Desiree Shepherd hosts and does an amazing job. So there you have it. It's ABC 10 Plus, the app. What do you need? We heard you and we got it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for streaming.